finally going to rivet the wing together today. And if you stick around, you're going to hear more about this dynamo and what it can do and what it isn't advertised to do, and about a problem I had with the trailing edge. So stick around. Everybody on YouTube likes to see a tree fall, but sorry, I didn't hit the neighbor's house. Anyway, we did go where we wanted it to go, and we did get the mess cleaned up after the hydraulic line on the wood splitter blew up, and then we were eventually got back to working on the wing. Now the work begins. I just thought I'd show you that I cleaned the tank out, got the sensor in, prepped all the holes, put the valve in the bottom of the tank that you emptied for the water, and I've got this one in and this nipple in, and I put that on there just to protect it, and got myself a line. Originally this was designed, this had the big holes with the big grommets for the rubber hose, but I decided to upgrade to the aluminum because this, of course, is going to be closed off. Still deciding how I'm going to end these. I know it's going to have a nipple on the end, but I don't know which one's going to overlap what. Put an Adele clamp here, did a nice sweep instead of a 90 and straight down, because then I wouldn't be able to support it on anything, or I'd have to come way over here. Didn't want a 90 here. I want everything sweeping if I can. Even this was out a lot further than what I kind of wanted. You know, it looks cool to be 90, but that sweep, as long as it isn't going back uphill, I'm happy with. So I just took some gas line, slid it on a curl, slid it in there for now. That takes up any gap perfectly because the inside's a 3/8 and the outside was made for these grommets. So that was a nice thing. I just got to put an end on here, and I'm going to have a nipple to slide my gas line on, and onward and upward. This is mainly for my record. I want a video of everything I did, but there comes a time in the build where you just got to close it up. And I pressurized the tank at least 3 times, checked everything. I'm glad that I saw a video where the top of the fuselage is right about here, and you can't drill any holes in the side of the fuselage where the longerons are. So everybody's right down to the edge. So I rebent this, took this back off, rebent this and curved it down so that I'm right on the bottom line of it, because this one just so happens with all these pieces you have to put together to make it fit. It's hard to move this back and have it seal correctly in near the curve. So this one, I'll take this off. And by the way, this is how I pressurize it. I just blow a little air in with a glove on there. I blow a little air in this and clamp it off, and it holds pressure overnight, and it gets me the chance to spray everything with soapy water. And that was reassuring. So the deal is with the gas tank is I did the pressurization and leak test of all the seams back before I put the sensor in, and that come out good. Then step 2 was to put the sensor in and plug up all the holes again and do a leak test, and that came out good. And then the third, of course, is in the wing and checking all the connections here and up here where the vent goes in, and it's all good. I did decide to go with aluminum tubing. I'm going to use rubber in the plane where it's easy to change and easy to hook to things. To me, it was quite a challenge to do the aluminum tubing without a $300 flare tool. I have a cheaper one, and it doesn't do a really super nice job. So I had to make several of these till I got the ends exactly how I wanted them. And don't scratch your aluminum, and be very careful when you hook it up. And the best thing is to not turn this, the dimple, only turn the nuts. Once you put it up there, rotate this and tighten it down. Just a little word of warning. So I'm getting to the point where I've blown it out, I've checked it, I've wiped everything, I've double checked the wiring, lit the lights, and it's time to pull the trigger. It's time to super level it again with cards and get it all setting on here perfect with the laser and get the skins down. And the only thing I have to do is the end cover, the plastic thing here, finish up the bodywork on it. Other than that, I'm gonna have a wing shortly. It's pretty exciting. And it's also scary because I don't want to forget anything. So I'm gonna go through my paperwork again and read through everything that I'm supposed to do and build, and don't forget this. So easy to forget that little piece of metal that goes down in there. It's sitting right here. And I love Chris's design. I'm sure this is intentional, that you can completely rivet this wing up and leave these panels off because of this. There it is. Because of this, I haven't shown, this rivets on when you put this cover on. And then of course you have that cover's completely riveted on nice and tight. And then you've got the cover that rivets from here to here and the little support arms. Other than that, that way you can leave it open so that you can drill your holes back here and set your incidents and all of that. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. This is going to be a video record for me so that I can look back and go, okay, that was there, when I think, oh, what about that? And maybe I should just move back and go slower. So this is going to be a really boring part, but there's reasons why I did everything the way I did them. I see other people do it differently, and that's okay. There's simpler ways of doing this, but this is what I come up with. I put everything back here. It's too bad I had to put everything by the lines, the electrical. That might be one of the reasons people don't do this. They go down through these channels here, but I wanted everything in the back. If it's easier to access this if I had to. I don't like to take rivets out of here and here to get the trailing edge sheet metal off to access the any of the electrical and the end cap. And then it would be all accessible again to me without completely destroying the wing. Hi, you want to be on YouTube?
No.
I'm sorry, but you're going to be. No. So, okay. So more record. Grounded the tank. Made a this is a nice big V in there, and this lays on there, and it's got at least 2 to 3 layers of shrink wrap on that wire, and that wire is tougher than nails, so that I can have that sheet metal on there and touch it. I had to take the cap out and start putting in clecos. That's next. I think I finally landed on what I want to do here. I've done that the aluminum thing where you make a form, you heat it up first and then beat it down with a plug, and it makes a pretty good cap. I'm still debating on that one, but I tried doing this with plexiglass, which if I smoothed up this surface, it would do a nicer job. So I should probably Bondo this and get it sanded nice and smooth. But you don't have to heat the plexiglass up that much, and it forms really well, and it doesn't conduct electricity. So sitting on top of the sensor, I won't have to worry about it ever touching if anything flexed. And it would double back tape down really well, and it's very light. So I'm experimenting with that further. The Dynamo is a really nice labeling machine because it's so inexpensive, but I had no idea how hard it would be to put labels on and then shrink wrap over them. I don't know if many of you have ever seen the 160, but it's the cheaper version of the Dynamo, and it only advertises that it does the stickers, but it also will, the fun fact is that it does shrink tubing. So it doesn't say on this when you, I'll put the advertising up there on there right now, a picture of this shrink tubing cartridges, and it says what machines it works in for dynamo, and this isn't one of them that it's labeled on. But I took a chance because I heard a rumor that those cartridges work on here, so I'm passing it along. That machine does this kind of thing, labels, and they work, but they're kind of, you know, out here, they're kind of ugly. And you can wrap them around a wire. I've seen guys do that and then put a piece of clear shrink wrap on there. It's labor intensive, but I did it with this right here with the new shrink wrap, and I like that a lot better. So that is my fun fact. Take a chance. These are under $50. I think they're even under $40. And the cartridges with the shrink wrap that you'll have to get, it will come with label makers. You'll have plenty of that. You'll have 3, I think, cartridges. They have a deal, a little more, I think, for one that comes with labels, which labels are kind of cool too. You can use those for a lot of things. And the shrink wrap does work. When you look up this, it'll say right on there what machines it works on for dynamo, and it's not this machine. They don't advertise it that way. So it does, but it does work. They snap in, work great. And the ink. I have a bit of bad news. There's probably a better way to do this. Well, there's definitely a better way to do it. This is my old skin. And right about here, it had tension when it was hooked to the inboard skin, the trailing edge skin. And it caused it to, this one to bow up slightly and this one to bow down slightly. I didn't do anything to this one because I worked on this one first. I put a block of wood in here and I just rubbed this, tried to change that radius just a little to move it up. But then this became super bumpy and really oil canny. So I ordered up another skin. They made a little crate for it because there wasn't anything you can do with it. They actually cut pieces of wood. They wrapped it all really nice, and one end isn't right, so they put a little wedge. The one edge of the sheet metal is angled, so they put a little wedge in here, and that thing fit in here like a glove. And believe it or not, that piece is about 6 foot tall, and they were able to send it UPS, which was really cool. So there's the new piece. It's nice and flat, nice and shiny. I thought that there was something I did wrong, but apparently, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus because this is just the way it is. The reason that this was bowed down is because it was probably just in the brake a slight bit off, and it had a lot of tension on it. And now, as you can see, it is just straight as an arrow. It's even flatter. It doesn't have as many bubbles in it and stuff, bubbles and bumps, which it would have been fine and I wouldn't have done anything with it. Well, that's the news about that rear trailing edge. I'm excited to get this riveted up, and the next scene is going to be, me just pulling rivets. So I'll skip through that quick enough. But that's what it took to get it to this point. Today's a great day. One other quick thing. I see a lot of guys not putting their trailing edge on. I'm going to put the trailing edge on and rivet it all in permanent. And then it goes in the rack until we paint it. I don't see a problem with that other than that you could damage it. And I can't find any reason not to other than that, and just be careful with it. But if I left that out, then I'm relying on just the clecos to hold it in place and give it its strength while I put it on the airplane and get the incidence angles and the dehedral. And I think I just got to rivet it all together, except minus these 2 pieces. I put these all in so in case they change anything. Just trying to be as forward as I can, forward thinking on it as I can. And I guess that's it. But other than that, it's always a little scary when you go to finish something up. The other thing is we're having a heat wave here right now, and the metal is expanded probably as much as it ever is going to be. Well, one last thing. There's always one last thing. Before I riveted it up, I decided to put that little bit of chamfer on the edge of that front leading skin where it leaps over. I noticed it did want to stay up just a little bit um, because it does sit on top of this piece. And I bought this. I don't know the name of it. You can get it on Aircraft Spruce. It will do 1/4 of an inch on straight pieces. And this was quite heavy. I experimented on some lighter stuff and it worked excellent. And here's a better look at it. It's a solid piece of aluminum and it has bearings and nylon. You can look it up there and read about it. But it comes with an extra set if you start to wear them out. I don't see you using it so much you're going to wear it out. But so let's get to the time lapse. First set of rivets. Now the next thing that has to be decided is the pattern I'm going to do. And what I've decided is I'm going to work the metal all the way out to the ends instead of this way because it'll bunch the metal. So I'm going to do the main spar is the most important. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go all the way out and vary back and forth. Take these back out. Put in the second stage of rivets, do the center spar again, and then because this nose skin is one continuous piece and it's locked in underneath and it's locked in then in the top, then I'm going to do these rows forward. And there is, a very small amount of give out in the very front. So and then I'll start in the middle, work this way, this one, this one, this one, all the way out to the ends and so on. Then creep everything back towards the back and finish that in the bottom row in the very back. And that's going to be the method. Let's see if it works. Double check that I got the right tip in. Here goes nothing. We're getting so close. Time to finish up the landing lights. Well, the rest of that's going to have to wait till I can lift it up and get it supported. Other than that, I believe we're done. I could get a hand puller in there, but I think I'll wait. I'll lift it up, support it, finish those off. Remember that little bent edge? Doesn't show up very good here, but as you can see, it did help it. I'll try to get a picture of it all the way down. Right here, those two panels is regrettable, but nice fit. So, we're gonna call that a wing. I gotta take the end back off, of course, and drill a hole for the light and finish that up. I got a little priming to do yet to that. And there it is. It isn't too bumpy. It's nice and warm in here, so we know it's expanded. And yeah, that's it. Well, we're gonna call this a wing. I think the next time I really work on it, it's gonna be on the airplane. So I'm gonna Cleco these off, stow these panels away, get that one off, finish that light, couple rivets underneath, lift it back up. Then I gotta get the cart over there ready to accept this, and that's where it's gonna live until it goes on the plane. And that'll probably be a little while, but make sure you subscribe if you ever wanna see when that's going to be. Thanks for coming along. Like this one if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.